Hey everybody, Forgotten Coins here. And today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I alluded to it a bit in the last video that I posted about these, one was about this Walking Liberty $half. But the question that we're going to ask for today is, how do I choose the right coin for my set? The reason I ask this is because I'm running into a bit of an issue. Well, it's not really an issue, conflict really, on my own sets, and in particular the tape tab toned US type set that I've got currently running, and is basically the highlight of my channel as well as collection, but that's just because I enjoy it so much. But first off, let me give you an overview of some of the coins that I currently have in the set, just to give you an idea of the theme and idea that we're going with, and then we'll get to the multiple selections of these coins here. So we'll start from, this is just going to be a quick run through. We'll start from low denomination to high denomination. Here's a 1956 64 red brown wheat cent. True views are really dark, but in hand the coin is fairly bright and very nice. You can see how much of a variation it has between the toning and the center of the coins. Spot where it had a tab or tape over it. Next, actually, let's do this raw 1980 memorial cent. Really bright toning. Again, you can see the large amount of variation between the coloring. With some professional photos, that coin's gonna look really fantastic. Next is this very high grade 1940D Jefferson nickel. This one's a bit opposite, where the toning is the tab. So whether that was actually tab toning, I mean, I'm assuming it was. It has the right dimensions and look. But again, really nice coin. So really what I'm trying to get across here is to show you how stark the differences in contrast that I'm looking for between the blast white and the amount of toning. And each coin is going to be different, but just to give you an idea of the general consensus of the set, this is the 1964 MS64 Kennedy. Really fantastic coin, amazing true views, really bright. Really bright toning. It's got a pretty cool bullseye right in between those center stars, right by the states of. But where's the 1969D MS64 fireball, bright orange toning. This one's got the really ideal split and variation between the toning and the blast white, right by the eagle. And this one's just full of pinks and greens, blues. It was actually a part of, I think, a set of 4 or 5 that ended up selling on great collections, all that looked similar, and this is the first one to sell. So therefore I got a really good deal on it, and then people started picking up on these coins being for sale in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks of auctions, because they only sent out 1 or 2 at a time, and the prices just got higher and higher from when I first purchased this one. Probably didn't help that when I posted it on social media as well. This is the 1922D, AU 50 piece dollar. Maybe one day I'll end up upgrading this coin, but I just really like how, you know, wide the tape was on this one, and you can kind of see a bit of a fingerprint above the word trust. It doesn't really show up much in close up, but really cool, you know, amount of toning, bright colors, a bit of a crescent on the reverse. Now let's get into some of these other coins. So I cut the video off to just, you know, set up these coins in front of me here so they weren't too loud, but I forgot to show you one last coin, the 1972D Eisenhower. It's a details coin, you know, it's got a bit of the scratching running from the Y and Liberty to the date, but again, same thing with the memorial cent. You never see any modern coins with that type of toning. So to reiterate, the purpose of showing you all the other coins that I have, you know, set into the, you know, type collection was to give you an overview of what I'm looking for. And you can apply this concept to your collection as well. Look at the coins that you're extremely happy to have and that you know you're not going to get rid of or change, you know, and it doesn't have to do anything with you know, the types of toning. It could be based on the grade or whether it has a CAC sticker or not, or the amount of luster, type of luster, date range, and apply it to your recent purchases. And so that's what we're going to kind of do here today. We'll look at, we'll use my collection as a, you know, a guideline, and we'll see how we can work out some of these. So here I have two quarters. These are Washington quarters, silver Washington quarters, only a couple years difference in date. This one's a 1956 MS65, and this one is 1954. I don't think it has a mint mark on it. Nope. So these are both tab toned, or well, this one's a tape toned coin, and this one is possibly a tab toned, just from how thin that line is. But this one, you know, if you're trying to figure out which one you like better, you know, one aspect of that would be that this coin is already graded, whereas versus the other coin that's raw. You know, you got to factor in grading fees. The other one is the type of color, right? So this one's a bit of an amber, golden, blue. It's got a pretty scratched up case. So if you're looking to, you know, I'd probably look at reholdering this coin, maybe into a PCGS holder. But then this coin, one, it doesn't have a grade, right? So you're going to have to pay for that. And two, the obverse has a bit of a darker, you know, coloration. It's got a bit of that rainbow hue around some of the edges, but it also has a really nice contrast down the center, as well as the reverse between the toning marks and the blast white area, especially by that, you know, eagle's right wing. That's just some phenomenal coloration. So for my, you know, intents and purposes of this set, I might go with the this 1954 quarter, depending on, you know, I'll probably end up getting true views on it, and depending on how those turn out, because another aspect of this set is I'm looking to get them all, you know, into digital albums, to be able to showcase them on the go, just have a bit of a visual inventory. And so for these Morgan dollars, I've shown you all of these coins before, but for the purposes of my set, we're looking at two tape-toned coins on the left and a tab-toned on the right. So really the question is of what type, my set contains both just because it's harder to find just the tab toning, but when you can, it's really nice. You end up getting this really good stark contrast. In 1886 Philadelphia, banded wingtip. The banded wingtip is actually right up here by the D and S of states. You can see those vertical lines. That is the type of VAM it is. But anyways, and it's not really relevant to the video. But that's how you can kind of start to tell the difference of, do I want this tab toning or do I want this tape toning? And if you can't decide between the two, start to narrow it down. So if we're looking at these two tape tone coins, I personally prefer this 1885 over the 1899, and that's simply because the type of coloration. This one is a more terminal progression. It's a tiny bit of a lower grade. It's just really toned on the obverse, whereas this 1885 has hints of rainbow in it. Really bright coloration, really cool. How the toning still sits underneath the devices of this coin. And the reverse is toned as well. It's got a really nice luster and really bright rainbows on it. And so, sometimes you don't even have to narrow them down. You can have more than one example in a set. It doesn't have to be just limited to one coin. For example, here's a few tape-toned Morgans. They all show different types of luster, field clarity. This one's like a semi-proof-like 1880S. I really like the CAC sticker on this one as well. But this one has extremely stark lines to kind of show this contrast from the toning to where it's blast white. And these two coins are extremely similar. They both have the same color progression of that steel blue, steel colored, a little bit of blues, a little bit of reds and oranges, and they're both tape toned, and they both have this type of serrated edges that you still see. Two different grades, but both are blast white on the reverse. That doesn't mean I have to just have one coin versus the other. I can keep both, which I intend on doing. So that brings me to my question and my dilemma for my set. I've got 3 Walking Liberty half dollars here, and I don't know which one I want for my set. I don't have, any particular desire to have all 3 of them. We'll just kind of go through and show you. This one's a 46S 64 CAC. Really nice luster, really nice blue toning throughout the obverse and the reverse. The issue with this one is that it doesn't have, while the blue toning is really nice, this, burnt orange toning doesn't really fit the clarity of my set that some of these coins have. Usually with this set, as you can see in these other 2 coins, they have that really bright contrast. Oops, sorry about that. And so with this one, it's a 1946 in MS64, reverse toned, tape half dollar, and it's reverse mounted, which is really nice. I like being able to see the grade and the toning at the same time. This one's got, you know, a bit of orange and reddish, a little bit of hints of that blue, but with this one, it's just on the center of the coin. It doesn't go throughout the entire surface. And while it's still a nice coin, I'm not sure if that's what I want, or, you know, fits the representation of, you know, the rest of the set. But the argument could be made for this coin too. This, you know, 69 half dollar, that it doesn't go throughout the rest of the coin like the 64 half dollar does. So last is this 1945 63 Walking Liberty half dollar. Again, if we're pitting these two against each other, then, you know, you have a bit of a negative on the 45 for the grade and not being reverse mounted, but it does go from one side of the coin to the other, and it's tab toning versus the tape toning. And that's a bit tougher to find, especially on, you know, anything outside of the dimes and the, you know, large dollar series. But it doesn't have as much color. It's a little bit more dull, a little bit less luster than the 64, and especially the 64 CAC. So all in all, I hope this kind of helped you evaluate your collection. My question still remains to you of which of these half dollars you like better and that you think is a fitting representation for the set, or, you know, you could decide that none of them are, which I might be leaning towards. Again, they're all great coins. Just not sure if that's what I want for, you know, the representation of the Walking Liberty half. But that's it for me, everybody, today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and hope to see you down in the comments. Have a great day.